In the velvet darkness of the blackest night, burning bright, there's a guiding star. No matter what or who you are, there's a light over at the Frankenstein place. There's a light burning in the fireplace. There's a light in the darkness of everybody's life. The darkness must flow down the river of night's dreaming. Flow, Morpheus, flow, let the sun and light come streaming into my life, into my life. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's a light over at the Frankenstein place. There's a light over burning in the fireplace. There's a light in the darkness of everybody's life. Happy Halloween! Hey everyone, I'm here with Coaster Kitty Missy here. Movie Missy. Were you in the grass or something? Like, did you? Oh, shower probably or wash. Anyway, Kay saw this movie, but don't ask. Anyway, so I'm gonna review Ghostbusters 2. Let's see if I have that DVD anywhere. Yep, Ghostbusters 2. I did review the original Ghostbusters, so this has been a very long time to continue. Now, my thought is first Ghostbusters, that movie was very funny. 2016 Ghostbusters, if it was maybe 15 to 20 minutes shorter and not the 2-hour running time that it was, I think I might have liked it a little more because there were stretches where yes, it was very funny. I'm not going to comment on the cast or anything, even though I am not a fan. I am not a fan of Kristen Wiig, but I think most people can admit that it was about maybe at least 10 minutes too long, which is the case with most. Who directed it? Paul Feig. Most Paul Feig, Judd Apatow wannabe directors. I have not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, or well, I haven't seen the sequel. No, I never saw the animated series. Those were way before my time. I don't know. I think I might have been watching Arthur and Kratz Creatures instead of like Ghostbusters and stuff. So I am not what you would consider like an extreme Ghostbusters fan. In this movie, um, it's kind, it's kind of, I don't know. It didn't steal because these came after it, but it kind of reminded me of, well, okay, Willy Wonka. It kind of reminded me of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, especially with that pink river that kind of looked like soap or like bubblegum soda. Um, and there was an episode of So Weird, Disney's X-Files show, that involved like okay, no, this isn't really the case. About like going into being stuck in a painting. Um, that's kind of the plot. That's kind of the plot of this movie. For some, twice throughout this movie, essentially there are breakups between. There's essentially like third act breakups between the Ghostbusters and the city. Even though, okay, they saved the city the first time, so why are people thinking that they're just trying to be criminals now? And then, okay, if you want to believe that, hey, maybe they got big headed, they think they can get away with it, fine, whatever. But then it's again that they get put into a mental institution when nobody in the nobody nobody, I don't care how out of touch, if you've lived in New York City for even a week, you probably know these people as good guys and heroes. It makes no sense whatsoever. It would be like some random dude trying to arrest Superman. It that part I didn't really like. Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver's love story, it kind of reminded me of the what was her name, Andy McDowell and Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day. Maybe it's just because it's both Bill Murray. Um, let's see what else. Movies. This is the second '80s movie I've seen that had naked kid butt. I'm sorry, that's kind of creepy, and I'm really glad that trend died, because gross. Is that to set up watch lists or something? Um, let's see. As far as I don't remember a whole lot about the original Ghostbusters. I'm not going to comment that this is PG and that the violence has been toned down. I'm not going to comment on any of that because, you know, if you can tell an R-rated joke, then tell the R-rated joke. If you can change a few words and make it PG, tell that version. Okay? It's okay. Let's see. I think that's really all I have to talk about. Do you see why I bring Kay onto these to get it to at least 10 minutes? Yeah, I'll admit it. Um, something that I found kind of interesting is I think the original idea for Ghostbusters, it involved Dan Aykroyd, it involved Eddie Murphy in the Ernie Hudson role, which it was implied that Ernie Hudson was going to die, and I'm like, oh God, really? But he doesn't, so that's good. Um, it was going to have John Belushi, I think, as one of them. I don't know who he would have played. Um, so my question is that Slimer was Dan Aykroyd described it as like the ghost of John Belushi. Part of me wonders what would have happened had John Belushi's uh not passed. What would Slimer have been inspired by? Also, if you're a fan of Slimer, he doesn't really get a whole lot of screen time in this movie. Uh, Rick Moranis, I think it's a little more screen time than in the first one. It's a little the way he's kind of talking like this. I don't know. I felt like that might have been more in this one than maybe in the first one. Um, no offense, Mr. Moranis. Um, Bill Murray has said that the original script was much better and this one was a terrible script. Really, it doesn't come across. If it might have been a bad script, but to me, it didn't feel like a bad script at all. It felt like a fun script. Um, the only thing maybe I could understand is maybe they weren't allowed to ad lib, and maybe if this had been the PG-13 or R rating or whatever that the original one was, if this one if this one had been, I really doubt this movie would have been better if it had a bunch of like F words and profanity and stuff. Um I don't even remember the first one having a whole lot of profanity. This did have a few meme moments that I've seen. I'll put you down, it's okay. This did have a few meme moments that I've realized, like when Ernie Hudson says, "That was really stupid." Um, and the other one that I remember seeing is I don't know if this was in the first one. It might have been, but it was something like he'll wake up feeling like $1 million. So part of me feels like Dan Aykroyd felt a little like, "Hey, what's up? How are you doing?" Like he felt like looser and sillier than maybe he was in the first one. Of course, I might just be looking at the first one with rose-colored glasses. While I am going to get the first Ghostbusters uh on home media on Blu-ray, no, I will probably not get Ghostbusters 2. Um maybe one, who knows, in a few years maybe we'll review Ghostbusters Afterlife, which has Paul Rudd in it, and it's kind of like a sequel to this movie. um I've heard both good and bad things about it, but I'm the guy who what was it? I've given like a negative review to or not a negative review, but not the best review to Rocky, and I said Speed 2 was fun, and I said Gem and the Holograms was fun. Okay? So it's all just purely my opinion. Um Happy October. Um I'm sorry folks, the a certain show is on. Anyway, tune in next time where, well, I could review a Stephen King horror movie, but I already reviewed Dark Tower this year. So join this channel next time when, so I can't do Cujo. Horror dog movie. No, 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 no. See you next time.